Chad C. Watson. I'm driving, as you can see, and I'm headed down to Rosiclare, Illinois, to the house I grew up in. The house was owned by my grandparents, Roger and Dorothy Young. My grandpa was an Illinois state trooper, and after he retired from that, he was the chief police of Rosiclare. My grandma was a cook at the Head Start, so this is a small area, you know, it's a pretty poor area, and they did pretty well for themselves. Now, when they got older, they couldn't really take care of the house. It's a pretty good sized house, it's a big yard. They wouldn't let me help mow it, they wouldn't let, you know, us help clean it. My grandma had a lot of stuff. She had a lot of antiques and a lot of stuff, just all kinds of stuff, and I mean stuff that was like her mom's, and you know, so the challenge with cleaning it, and it didn't look like a hoarder place or anything on the inside, but there was just a lot of stuff to move and all this, and you know, that's the best way I can put it. There was just a lot of stuff, and it made it hard to clean. And anyway, they died. When they died, you know, the house did have some issues, but it wasn't beyond repair or anything. I mean, there was the central area unit had some issues. I forget what it was, but there was some kind of issues that made it really hard to replace this, like harder than usual. And then there was, let's see, the pipes in the basement needed replaced. So it wasn't nothing too bad. It just mainly needed a really, really damn good cleaning. It had, you know, they had a problem with mice toward the end of their life. And anyway, the house ended up getting broke into, and we knew it would. You know, we tried to play it off like somebody was staying there as long as we could, but it inevitably got, you know, and I'm pretty sure I know who did it too. In fact, I've had a lot of people keep giving me the same name. I even offered a reward up to $2,000 if somebody could lead to solid proof that this guy did it and get him convicted, but no evidence was ever, other than word of mouth. And you know, from what I could see, like what little I was watching this guy on my days off and kind of checking out his property, like some of the shit he was doing was coinciding with what I was hearing. But anyway, on with the story. I sold a contract for deed to these one people, and they didn't do much work on it or whatever. They ended up bailing on it, and that's fine, whatever. And then I ended up selling it again, and I was the one going down and taking care of the yard and stuff, and whenever no one was in it, and checking on the place. And sold it again to a guy, and I'm not going to name his name because I don't want to get in any kind of trouble, but you know, he said he was a preacher. He owned, you know, he did construction, and he traveled around to different states and did all this stuff. This guy also bought another property from my mom outright, or him and his wife at the time. As far as I know, they were getting divorced. I'll get to that. He also coincidentally was supposed to buy a property from some family in Kentucky on my dad's side. He just showed me the picture because me and this guy were, you know, he was pretty buddy with me, and he always kept up on his payments. In fact, he'd pay me in advance. And we were talking one night, and he showed me a picture of this one property, and I asked him if it was owned by the Easleys. He said, yeah, and told me, it's my family too. It's weird. He's bought 3 properties from me or my family. Anyway, toward the end of last year, in 2018, he said he wanted to settle on a you know, paid off. If I'd give him a discount, you know, let's come up with a lump sum he could pay me and finish it off, and I wanted out from under the place. And at one point I had the money to fix it up after my grandma died, and I thought about moving back into it, but I didn't for a few reasons. Anyway, he gave me a low ball amount, and I said no, and then we agreed on, I had one idea, he had one idea on what he wanted to finish paying off, and we decided to meet in the middle. And he said around January, I want to say January 14th, his divorce was going to be final, and then he'd pay me off. Well, I never heard from him anything in January, and I'm busy, and I don't have a lot of time during the day to call people during normal hours. So I kept meaning to, but forgot. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, now it's March 2019, and I kept meaning to get a hold of him, and I was going to. And then I get a call, or I get a text, you know, from one of the police in Rosiclare, and saying, you know, call him. And then I found out, he said, you know, the yard's a wreck and you're going to get in trouble. You're going to start getting issued citations if you don't, you know, get it cleaned up. And I'm thinking, oh, it's just going to be some overgrown grass. And I've had to get on to this guy before about the yard. And sometimes he'd have stuff dragged out in the driveway. And I'd always tell people, well, he's working on the inside. And I always assumed it was stuff he was using, you know, to work on the house on the inside. And he kept telling me he had stripped the upstairs down to its hardwood floors. And we'd taken some of the carpet out, but we hadn't got down to the hardwood. There was something between the carpet and the hardwood. I don't know what it was. I don't know shit about houses. Anyway, and he he kept telling me all this stuff, kept saying I could come see it when he was done with it. Because I asked him, and I wanted to see my house, and I told him I didn't care really what you did as long as you paid me. At one point, he said it was livable, and he said he was going to rent that house and go live in the other one he bought off my mom. Or Bill. I've heard a couple different stories. Anyway, I said I don't care as long as I get my money and the place doesn't get wrecked. Well, I get this call from the cops, like I said, here in March last week, and I go down there to see what this yard needs. I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna have to go mow it like I used to, and then get a hold of this guy and say, hey, you got to keep up on this stuff. No, I get down there, and there's so much shit everywhere. And you're getting ready to see it, and I was just dumbfounded. And they said the doors were unlocked. The place had been abandoned. This guy is nowhere to be found. I was told that he did he was under a contract for some kind of construction work for some old lady and ripped her off over $4,000, and now he's got a warrant out for his arrest for theft. And he, like I said, he's told me he was a preacher and all this other stuff. Always seemed like a really great guy, and I know I met him to get a payment one time, and he said there was a guy that worked with him that stayed there too. So I'm going to say on the record, I don't know who did all this shit to this house, or the yard, but from what I know, and this guy, I tried calling him, and he's had a couple different numbers from what I remember. I know he's had at least 2, if not more, and the phone number, it just went when I tried calling it. I've tried contacting both of his Facebook accounts, and it doesn't look like he's read them. I've been told what to do legally in order to regain my property. I'm behind on the taxes by the better part of $2,000, and that was just for 1 year. And plus, he was supposed to pay this year's taxes, so I'm going to be, way in the tax hole, and it's going to be getting taken from me if I don't get this stuff paid up, by 2020. So I'm really in a bind here with this property. And anyway, I can't believe anyone, especially someone that claims to be a preacher. I'm going to say claim, because everyone that's seen this, the last video I put on Facebook only, it said, yeah, right, there's no preacher that would do this. And I don't know how anyone could do this to someone else's property. I mean, he's made some payments on it, but he hadn't paid in a while. In fact, he's in violation of the contract, to the best of my knowledge. I know he is on the payments. I got to remember what all my contract says. But anyway, I got to go back and look at it. Like I said, started out, he was great. He was a dream come true. Like, I was like, I couldn't believe I got somebody this great in there. And now he's just completely wrecked the joint. So anyway, I'm going to quit talking now, and I'm going to show you the house. All right, so here's the house, and it's kind of cold. Look at this. Now, I can't throw any of this stuff away, I was told by the police, or else I could get charged with theft, and I'm not saying this I have no ill will toward the police, and they're doing a lot to help, they see my side of this, but this is bullshit. I shouldn't have to clean this up. I should not have to clean all this up. Because, like, what is this? What the fuck is this? Like, is it nitrous, or were they running like a dentistry out of the garage? Like, look at all this shit. And I can't throw this stuff away. Like, what's this? Look, there's a chair out here. That dumpster, now I know whose that is. There must have been trying to grow something. My God. Like, thing is, we're supposed to get this stuff out of sight. So the battle plan's to get it moved into this garage. Now, this garage had stuff in it, but it wasn't like this. This used to be open because this is where my first band practiced. Yeah. I'm afraid to even walk around because I'm afraid I'm going to need a tetanus shot by the end of it. Here's the backyard. Now, it was pretty grew up anyway. It was real bad anyway, because like I said, my grandpa couldn't take care of it. Somebody's trimmed some tree limbs. That wasn't like that. Now, this is the back porch where it's like they've stripped the carpet out. There used to be a table here, and we'd eat dinner out here sometimes. Not the case now. Okay, I like how out of all this shit out here, there's like these really nice looking, like, looks like a suit the Joker would wear. Maybe pajamas or something. Hey, there's a keyboard. That used to be mine. No, it wasn't. No, that ain't mine. That is not mine. This is where we would normally go in at. Oh, great. The glass is busted out of the window. I'm not even going to go in that way, but this is usually the entrance. Most of the time, people always came back here. No one ever went to the front door. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this. Yeah, the power's off now. They said they yanked the power box from out there. Yeah, this is what used to be the living room.
You sure the wind just couldn't have blown that open somehow?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a hole right there, so be careful.
Yeah, that wood stove used to not be here for us. I had people messaging me wanting to buy some of this stuff.
Sell it, dude. Who cares?
I can't.
No, I would.
Oh, I'd like to sell.
That's just my opinion.
And this is my old bedroom. There's a nice little stereo up there that I wouldn't mind having. That air conditioner used to be over there. But yeah, this is pretty rad. That wasn't here. That wasn't here before. Praise God, trust God, family rules. This is bullshit. Like, this is utter bullshit. You see this stuff. All right, look at this. Here's a condom. Whoa, right there. Look at this. It's a condom. It's got something gushy inside.
Must have been some perverted stuff.
Yeah. Almost looks like he made himself a dildo out of a rubber and something. This was the den area. There we go. Yeah, this was the den area. Now this was the dining room. The refrigerator used to be over here. That stove was over back this way. This was the kitchen. This is a hole for the central air that wasn't there before. Down here's the basement. We'll go down there here in a second. What's that? That's a Dick Tracy doll. God's not dead. Into the basement we go. I don't think I'm going to go down here. I don't think there's... Yeah, I'm going to try it. Shit. Now the basement, we had a lot of stuff down here always. mold smells so bad that, like, there's a big stand-up shower. I'm not going to risk falling or anything. I did decide to come down to the basement after all.
Apparently they kept their dog down here.
You shit everywhere? Yeah. So I kept the dog down here.
Apparently.
Who in their fucking right mind keeps a dog down here? Now here's the upstairs. Hey, look at that. January 2007. I wasn't living here then. That's not mine. Wonder what else this supposed man of God has up here. Lion's Den. Which, I'm not saying if you're a preacher you can't have sex or anything, but God's not dead. Look at this. This looks like that. Looks like this is kind of looks like where Frank was at in the first Hellraiser. For those of you that knows what that is. What is this? Is this is like a heating thing, like a propane heating thing. These little doors go to the more attic-y part of the attic. This is actually a finished out attic. I'm sure you can tell now. Right here, that's where my grandpa's bed used to be. And one night I had to sleep up here because see how these ceilings are painted with spikes? That's how the downstairs is. And it would have been November 1st around 1 something in the morning. I woke up and I swear I saw a gray alien right there. And I turned my head and I looked, it was there again. It was just looking at me. Yeah, I tried to act like I was asleep, and eventually one time when I turned and looked, it disappeared, which, I mean, they supposedly can just disappear because they're interdimensional, but enough about crazy alien shit. Let's get back to this. That's a big teddy bear. Ooh. Ariana. So, R&B 2018. I wonder who R&B is. Here's the backyard. Now, it was getting pretty grown up. I mean, it was real bad anyway. Like, he didn't do this, but he told me that he cleared a lot of it out, and he may have, and it might have grew back, because that's been sometime over the past years. 2 years he claimed that. But this is like the cleanest room in the place. So it's like, hey, I've got this kid, and I'm gonna, you know, keep this room clean. Wow. All right, so we've got some locks going on the door here so that no one can be here. It's not supposed to be here. This place has been abandoned. So if they want their stuff, they got to come talk to me. And we've put a lock on this door.
Not yet, but we're getting
Or we're getting there. We're gonna put a lock on this door. So yeah, there we go. Got it locked up. You know, I'm not sitting there trying to rail on Christianity or rail on this guy, but you got this dude who almost fell in the hole that's in the floor now that wasn't before. You know, but, you know, in our sense, Christians goof up according to what they believe is wrong and all that. And, you know, sometimes they're tempted into sexual deviancy or this other stuff, you know, drug use, whatever, you know. But seriously, I don't believe there was any temptation. Hey, guess what? Let's wreck this guy's yard and house, you know, that I'm paying on. And I'm going to tell this guy I'm fixing it up and we're just going to abandon it someday. And I mean, seriously, I think this dude is full of shit, big time. And that's my opinion. And he might not have done all this, but still, even if he was renting this place or letting somebody stay here, and I know there was one other guy staying here at one point, and I don't remember his name, I met him once, you know, he's paying for this, you know, trying to buy this house. He should have been checking up on it. And I've had to get on to him before about the yard. He shouldn't have let this happen. And you know what? I also shouldn't have let this happen, but he was making his payments. I drive by occasionally. What you saw outside in the driveway, there was some stuff, but it wasn't near this bad. And I always thought, you know, well, he's working on the inside. He's got to get some of the, you know, stuff out that's in the house and all this. But this is just ridiculous. It's a load of fucking bullshit is what it is. And I mean, I would really like to hear his explanation for this. But as I know now, he's basically, from what I gather, he's disappeared off the planet. You know, like I said, he's got a warrant out for his arrest. I've looked. He's got. I didn't go through them all, but I went on a website and just in one county that I know he's resided in, he has a ton. I mean, a ton. Well, I don't know if he resided there, but I know I've only looked in one county around here and had, you know, a page full of like court cases and all this other stuff. Now I didn't go to look and see if they were all against him. I'm not going to say what some of the charges were, but I mean, this is ridiculous. And you know, I should have looked into things more, I guess, to have prevented this. But anyway, so that's a quick look at the house. And this is, now, as long as I get all this stuff cleaned up outside, that's what matters. As long as it's out of the public view, I'll be okay. But anyway, what's going to happen in this house, I don't know. But thanks for watching.